Looking forward to heading out to Charleston. Tough opponent. I think top 50 team. Ken Palm in Miami, Florida. 3-1. I think their only loss is to Louisville, who's number 1 or 2 in the country. So that's a very respectable loss. Tremendous backcourt, as well as front court. But I think the strength of their team is the backcourt, and it'll be a different type of opponent than what we've faced so far this year, and we'll have to play pretty well to hang with them. So, and just looking forward to the whole tournament. I mean, Miami, Florida, UConn, obviously are some household names, but Buffalo and St. Joe's and Towson are good programs as well. And then obviously, we firsthand know how good Xavier is. So this is a good opportunity for Missouri State and our program. So looking forward to it.
Can you just talk a little bit about how much that Xavier game preparing you for the kind of opponent you're going to see?
They play two different styles in the sense of Xavier's just so big and tough and athletic, and Miami is big and skilled and so very well coached, which Xavier was as well. But just two different types of opponents, and I don't know if one game prepares us for the next. But if we have the same approach that we had going into the Xavier game, then hopefully we can play well.
How's this prepare you for the season as a whole? Not necessarily the next game, but playing this tough of competition this early in the year.
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons we did the schedule the way we did, so we can continue to get better all year. You have to respect the opponents that we're playing. And you have to prepare for them, and you've got to be locked in, or they can embarrass you, and I don't think our guys won't want that. So I think this is just as important as starting the season off against a decent opponent, as opposed to a non-Division One, and then already being, I guess this is only the second or third week of the season. It's going to be our second top 50 game with a chance of a top 10 game following that, and then another top 10 game if we were able to fortunately get past that. As well as, in about a month, we'll be playing 2 other top 25 teams. So, I mean, it's just, about getting better and tougher all year long, and I think that this helps in that process.
You mentioned the approach. Just what did you see that was different from previous games going into Xavier?
Oh, I think that, you have to focus on the game plan. I mean, you have to focus on being a team. You're getting ready to play a top 10 team. You don't think you can go out there and just do your own thing and win the game. I mean, that's the biggest approach that I saw that was different, and just a respect level.
Why do you think it was different for the guys going?
They know Xavier will beat them by 30.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. I mean, who are we kidding here? I don't think Cleveland State's at a point can beat us by 30. Neither can Alabama State nor Little Rock. But if you go in there playing individual basketball and not playing with effort and try to do it on your own against Xavier, they'll beat you by 30. If we do that Thursday, they'll beat us by 30. And so on and so on, and it's just that simple.
Is there anything that you can, guys always talk about, it's team building, we're going to take them on the road, 3 games in 3 days. Is there some off-the-court stuff that will help with the team as well?
Maybe. I don't know if it will guarantee anything, but we have a close group anyway. We don't have a group that doesn't want to be a team. We just got a group that, they've got to get a level of respect for how you go about it at this level, as more opposed to anything we do outside of basketball. And in fact, this is probably the closest team I've been the head coach of. And but we'll do some things just because we're together. And this is a little different because this is a neutral court for both opponents. It's not like we're playing on the road, so it's a little bit different. But I'm sure we'll get together and do some things.
What about your depth with these many games in a row? That's got to be a plus on you.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to play as many guys as possible. I think the last game it really helped us. I thought we got good minutes from our bench. We anticipate that as well this week, and trying to continue to develop the bench as well as get some rotations and get some lineups in there that can play together longer. But hopefully that's an advantage for us. When you play the programs at the level we're playing, their roster's deep too in comparison to ours. And what I mean by that is everyone on their roster can play on our team, right? And so they're going to be deep against us as well. So we'll continue to play a lot of guys and keep trying to, you know, build some guys on and get some guys in the groove. But it's definitely an added bonus.
So you ready for this road trip?
Yeah, yeah.
So coming off a close game that you guys just had against Xavier, how's that kind of prepare you for this tougher competition that you're going to see?
Kind of gave us a taste of what type of teams are out there and how hard we got to play, and you know, just the mistakes that we got to clean up.
Did you guys feel like you're kind of playing up the competition? I mean, the first 3 games of the season, you guys looked as good as you've been all year in that game. Do you feel like you guys played down to the others? What's kind of the...
I mean, you can say that. I mean, we're not completely as good as we want to be. And, you know, each day we get better. So I feel like what you've seen at Xavier is just where we was at then. And I feel like now we had a couple more practices. We've gotten better since then.
Are you excited about a tournament like this where you look and you can see Florida, you know, Miami and all these kind of different schools that you know, that are up there in the Power 5 conferences?
Yeah, of course, we want to gauge ourselves and see how good we actually are compared to the ranked teams. And, you know, we feel like, you know, eventually we can be ranked if we play good enough. And, you know, I feel like we can beat anybody. So, you know, once that time comes, we come to prove ourselves.
How's the team gelling? Do you feel like, you know, being kind of a new guy getting in there, do you feel like everything's the way it should be mid-season form yet, or what do you think? You have to be patient?
I mean, how many games have we played? 5? We only played 5 games. You know, Gage not 100% yet, so, you know, we really don't have our full team. So, I mean, we're kind of getting there, but we're not really there yet.
Do you think a road trip like this is going to kind of help just you guys mesh off the court and then maybe translate to basketball?
Yeah, I would think so. I feel like it'll give us more time, you know, hang with each other, you know, plane rides in the hotel and stuff like that. So I feel like that'll just give us more time to bond with each other.
Have you looked at what's in the area, what you guys can do when you're not playing or anything?
Nah, I don't do things like that. I feel like it's a business trip. I don't really try to get too caught up in the other stuff.
Did you flop?
No, I did not flop. I did not flop. If you can see the instant replay, hit my arm. But, you know, that's in the past.
So what do you think about that call, like moving forward for the game of basketball? Do you like the possibility that that's going to, like, be called now?
I mean, a foul is a foul. I don't really know how you can determine whether somebody flops based off the way the game is played. Like trying to take a charge, I don't see how you can call a flop on somebody trying to take a charge, or like, you know, when you shoot jump shots, you're supposed to be able to land. And I don't know how. They say you can't really call a foul after the ball leaves your hand. So I don't really know how that works. But you know, I'm not a ref, so I really don't know. I just try to play the best of my ability.